Hi, everybody. My name is Amanda Jones Brown. This is my first recording for this channel, What Happened in Rousinac. It explains why I started this YouTube channel, and it explains everything. Okay, so in 2019, my lovely sister, Catherine Grayston, and her husband, Tom, went on holiday to southwest France, to a place that I'd never heard of. Nobody I know hasn't heard of since, called Rousinac, Rousinac. Rousinac, it's in the middle of nowhere. It's in the middle of a load of forest, national park land, off the beaten track. And that's typical of my sister. You know, she was quite adventurous. She loved to go to different places. So anyway, she went in 2019 with her husband, Tom, for a vacation. And then they disappeared. And because it was around the same time as the pandemic, the British police, the British authorities, when my sister failed to come home, they accepted the French police report in Rousinac. They just accepted it. And then because of the pandemic, I wasn't able to go and travel and do all the necessary arrangements and investigate and ask questions. We were in lockdown, and so, you know, 2 years later, just over 2 years later, I'm still left asking questions about the official story around my sister's disappearance in Rousinac. In my gut, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't know what happened in Rousinac. I don't know, but I'm determined to find out. Now, my sister, Catherine Grayston, and her husband, Tom, were not the only foreigners who disappeared in Rousinac. 2 other foreigners disappeared at exactly the same time. Those 2 people were called David Frankel. He was a New Scotland Yard forensics expert, and he went to Rousinac with his partner, his friend rather, his professional partner, James Harrison. And James Harrison is an American, and he is a top criminal profiler. He works at John Jay, and he works for all the agencies in the United States. He's considered the leading criminal profiler. So from what I'm going to uncover the story, but they're all connected. The 4 of them are connected. And the fact that they disappeared at the same time in the same place means that there's a story here. And I want to get to the bottom of it. Look, I just want to know the truth. I need to know the truth. And I don't buy the official story that the Rousinac police have given. I just don't. So, so this video channel, this YouTube channel, What Happened in Rousinac, ? Is a genuine attempt to find out what happened to Tom and Catherine Grayston in Rousinac, and to also find out what happened to the other 2, James Harrison and David Frankel. So there are some people I'm going to reach out to. I've reached out to, one of whom is somebody called Dr. Judith Frankel. She's the sister of David Frankel. She's an American. She's a top grief therapist. She's actually quite well known. And she's spoken a little bit about her brother's disappearance. And I want to get her on board. I want to get her on side. So I'm gonna keep reaching out to her. I've reached out to her a couple of times. I haven't heard back, but I'm not giving up. I'm going to reach out to her because we've got something in common. We both lost somebody significant to us in Rousinac. So I'm going to reach out to her. I'm going to find a way of getting hold of Dr. Judith Frankel, and I'm going to find out what happened in Rousinac. So please subscribe, please like, please follow, get in touch. You can message me here. If you have any information about Rousinac or any information about any of those four and their disappearance, please, please, please reach out. I guarantee you, I will keep you safe. I will stay anonymous around it. I just want to know the facts. Thank you.
Hi. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yes, Amanda?
Yes. That's Bobby?
Yes, I'm Bobby Hamilton. Thank you for meeting me.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, yeah, it was a surprise,
Oh,
actually.
I'm sure it was. The way I did was I put a Google alert out looking for Rousinac. So I found your channel on YouTube.
Oh, that's great. It's great that it's going out there. Okay. And why are you looking for Rousinac?
I think we're allied. I have a very good friend, but let me go back a bit further. I'm retired from one of the government's investigative agencies. I'd rather not say specifically which one.
Okay.
Say, a very good friend of mine, James Harrison, a former Marine,
Yep.
also investigator, a good friend, as I said, has gone silent. It's so unusual for him. We're in touch frequently, but not continuously. So it's piqued my interest, and I started looking into it to satisfy my own curiosity. And the more I don't hear, the more concerned I'm getting.
Right. Well, it sounds to me then, Bobby, that you have half the story because James was marked as disappeared in Rousinac in 2019, along with disappeared along with my sister, Catherine Grayston, along with her husband, and along with another American gentleman who worked at New Scotland Yard. And I know that because all through the pandemic, as you know, everything locked down. I've been pushing for answers. I've been researching, as I've said on my channel, and I'm not going to say too much because obviously I've just met you, but I'm getting more information all the time. So you've got half the story, and I think that you must understand that I'm having to be very careful at this point.
I understand. I understand.
Yeah.
And now I know more than I did, which
Yeah.
only provokes more questions.
Yeah. Do you mind me asking, can you tell me a little bit more about how you know James?
Our paths have crossed professionally in the past. We've worked together, or at least in concert, several times in the past in our roles with the government. I know that he continues to investigate, although, as a true investigator would do, he never divulges exactly who or what he's doing. But I do know that James is all business all the time. He doesn't do anything frivolously. He's very focused. He's also very diligent about what he does. So if that helps, I hope it does. Again, we're at this point where we're trying to gain trust and realize that we're allied in our pursuit of the truth.
Well, can I ask you a question? What did your gut tell you when you did a preliminary search for Rousinac? What popped up for you on the screen and in your searching?
As an investigator, what piqued my interest was what was not there. There's a
Yeah.
almost virtual blackout, which suggests that it was purposeful because in the ordinary scheme of things, as you could imagine, there would be some published reports. There would be something about it if
Mm-hmm.
it was newsworthy,
Mm-hmm.
but simply marking them as disappeared.
Yeah. Yeah. There's nothing about this place. It is as if the only thing I could even find were like photographs from like the early 1900s. It was so bizarre. Um, you would think, given the location, that it would be on holiday platforms, destinations. Just seems
Mhm,
to be, you're right. It just seems it's as though somebody has just scraped all of that data out and there's
mm.
nothing to see here, nothing to do, nothing to see. Keep going, keep moving on. Um, So yeah, well, that's where I'm at, and I appreciate, Bobby, that you reached out. Obviously, you can imagine I'm at this point very cautious about who I
Mhm.
interact with. So I'm still just getting information, and I know that you probably will too, because you are connected to a network, I'm sure, still, you know, and you can
Although,
maybe go higher up the chain.
although I will caution you, I'm retired, so while I do have friends with agencies, it would be unofficial only.
Of course,
They're constrained naturally with what they might divulge.
I'm sure, and I respect that. You're not in the field anymore, and so. Seems to be a good way to get in touch with me. I don't know what you're using, whether that's your real number or
Mhm.
whatever. You do what you do. I would propose that you you do what you're doing, and if anything comes up of significance, if you want to reach out, this is a really good place to reach out to me. It's public, so
Mhm.
feel free to
So
do that.
I appreciate that. If you would, since you've mentioned her, this Dr. Judith Frankel,
Oh
would you
yeah.
reach out if you make connections with her and learn anything? But in the meantime, please keep this number. That will be our means of communication. Stay in touch. And please, as I mentioned, do not use my name in any capacity. We both
Right.
need to, because I will do the same for you.
Thank you. Thank you, Bobby. I appreciate that. I'm sorry I get yeah. So as you know from the little bit that I've shared, I can't share too much online about Judith because she's obviously a private citizen, individual, but she is the sister of one of the four people that disappeared in Rousinac, and she's quite well known. She's got a huge platform, and believe it or not, she's one of the world's top grief experts. Ironically enough, um, up until recently, she has not responded to any outreach. However, I've got one more card up my sleeve. I'm going to play a card and I'm going to get in front of her because I think she's probably avoiding me for a very good reason. She doesn't want to face the fact that the official story might be bogus.
Mm,
So I'm going to wait until I've got a bit more information and approach her with it. And then, if it's okay, we'll circle back. If I get her on board, I'll circle back with you, Bobby, and maybe the three of us can have a introduction and just do some data sharing.
okay. I think that would be a positive step.
I do too. And all we're doing here is we're just asking questions. We're not giving any secrets away. We're not doing anything illegal, and that's how I see it. I'm just asking for real evidence about what happened to my lovely, lovely sister and
Mm.
your friend, you know? So, yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Bobby. And like I said, let's stay in touch. All right. Take
Will do.
care of yourself.
Will do. You do the same.
Thank you. Goodbye.
By now.
Hi, guys. Hi. Can you hear me? Can everybody hear me? See me?
I can hear
Yes, I
you.
can.
Yep. Great. Okay. I don't really know what to say right now. You guys don't know each other. I'm Amanda. Obviously, you both know me. I don't know who wants to start, but if someone could start, that'd be great.
Hi, my name is Graham, and I'm a data analysis in the UK.
New Scotland Yard, actually.
Please don't say that.
Sorry.
My name's Bobby. I'm retired from one of the U.S. investigative agencies. We'll leave it at that.
Cool.
Yep.
Good to meet you, Bobby.
Same
I just
here.
wanted to give you some information. My co-worker, David Frankel, disappeared in Rousinac in 2019 under particularly mysterious circumstances. And I never bought the story from the French police. But since then, I've been gathering as much information as I can. There's little information on Rousinac. It's for me, it's been a digital and historical desert, really. But I did put some alerts out on YouTube and got some hits for a video, what happened in Rousinac on Amanda's channel.
The only thing out there on Rousinac. Yep.
Rousinac.
Yep. I don't know how you say it, but yeah, begins with R. So yeah. Yeah. It's in the middle of a forest. I mean, there are no maps. It's bizarre. It's a strange, bloody place from what I can see.
Well, I reached out to Amanda. I've got a few bits of extra information that I've been sitting on, which I feel she should have known. So I guess that's the reason for this call.
Yeah, great. Before you start, Bobby has a friend who also disappeared. So that's why he's invested in this. He reached out to me, obviously, as well. I'm putting it out there. I'm on the firing line. I get that. So my sister disappeared. His friend disappeared. Your coworker disappeared in the same bloody place, same time. That's the story here. Okay. So, yeah, rock and roll. Let's go.
All right. So a couple of new names, Tom and Catherine Grayston.
My sister.
Hadn't used their credit cards for 5 weeks before they were officially considered disappeared. James Harrison and David Frankel, my colleague, hadn't used their credit cards for 2 weeks before they were disappeared. However, all four of them used their credit cards in Rousinac. I've also discovered that Rousinac lies in one of the largest ancient forests in France and has been historically isolated for around 1,000 years.
Wow.
The nearest settlement they have is a military base, but again, that's not well known. Every decade or so, there's been a few backpackers who have gone missing around the area. They're normally come from Germany, Austria. They've never been found, and these sorts of cases go back to the 1950s.
What?
I've no idea if this is connected to the Graystons, David and James, but
yeah. Oh wow. That's pretty significant, and obviously, Graham knows what he's doing. He's a data analyst, Bobby, right? So he knows what he's talking about. Wow.
That's very interesting.
Okay. Well, guess what, fellas? I'm going over there. I've got my passport. So
I would say be very careful. I mean, if so many people have gone missing, I don't understand how you expect to protect yourself over there.
I agree, Amanda. As we discussed, it's very puzzling to say the least, but it suggests something darker going on.
I can't just sit on this, Bobby. That's my sister. Okay, so I appreciate both of your concerns, and I'm going to have to sit with this. I'm actually really upset, so I'm not going to switch the meeting off, but I'm actually going to just leave right now, if that's all right.
Does she know your name?
She knows a name.
Well, keep it that way, and good luck.
I will know where to find you.
Okay, well, I want to thank my very special guests, Dr. Karen Braverman and Dr. Erin Stone, for joining me in this very enlightening discussion today about grief and trauma and the effects that they have not only on our minds, but on our bodies. Thank you very much. And before we go to our callers, I'm sure there are many people waiting to call in because there are a lot of people who undergo stress and grief all the time. So, Dr. Braverman, do you have something to impart to our audience today?
Sure. It's important to understand that grief takes many forms in terms of anxiety, depression, or sometimes there's just confusion. Something does not feel right. You're not sure what that is. You feel off in some way. And please understand that there is lots of support out there. So please feel free to reach out.
Thank you. And Dr. Stone?
Yeah, sure. I've worked with lots of clients in this realm, and grief needs to be moved through the body. And there's a really simple technique that I have to share with you that you can do anytime and for however long you want. And it's simply placing your hand over your forehead and hand on the top of your crown and making a hissing S sound. And that helps to metabolize grief. So you might find some relief using that. Thanks for having me on the panel.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you both very much. And like I said, I'm sure there are many people just really wanting to ask some questions. So let's go to the first caller. Jane?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Jane.
Hi.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you so much, everybody, for this great event. I just wanted to say that actually my name is Amanda, Dr. Judith, and you know me quite well. I lost my sister not too long ago, and I can't deal with the grief, basically because I don't think she's actually gone. And I think it's extraordinary that I've reached out to you a few times by email and text because you lost your brother in the exact same place and time as my sister, and you've refused to actually even engage with me about the subject. So I'm sorry to have to do this.
Okay,
Can you please get in touch with me?
I'm sorry, yes, this isn't the right time or place for this, so we're going to go to the next caller. Thank you.
Well, clearly she needs some help. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if something actually occurred there or there's something else going on that's creating that adversity.
Yes, it's kind of a personal matter, and so I'd like to take it offline if you don't mind, and I'll explain the situation to you both. But for now, let's just go to the next caller.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hi. Yes. Hi, Amanda. Yes.
Hi. Yeah, I can see you now. Hi, Judith.
Hi. Look, I'm eating a little bit of humble pie here. Thanks for taking my call. Thank you for your emails. I really just want to apologize for being rude to you the other day during the seminar with my other two colleagues. I have to admit, you caught me by surprise, and that's on me. I mean, that wasn't very professional, and I sincerely apologize. And I understand that you are in distress, and maybe I can help you navigate that. And admittedly, I have my own concerns about my brother's death, disappearance, and quite frankly, I'm just interested to hear what you have to say at this point. I have to admit, I haven't been, but I'm not at ease about it either. So I would like to hear what you have to say.
Well, first of all, thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. I really do. And I also want to say sorry that I kind of busted a move on you in the middle of a webinar. I know there are a lot of people there. So, and it was in front of your colleagues. I was just, Judith, I mean, do you prefer Dr. Judith or Judith?
No, please just call me Judith.
Okay, Judith, I honestly felt, I know it comes across as crazy, but I honestly felt that I had no other recall but to approach you that way. So I appreciate you saying what you've said, and I've just said what I've said. Thank you. Obviously, yes, I have been following some of your quite public conversations around the loss of your brother. Okay. And obviously, I think by now you realize that there is a connection between you and me and your brother and my sister. So just to recap, I know that you know this. I lost my sister Catherine in a place never heard of before called Rousinac in southwest France, in the middle of nowhere, national park land, nothing else there. And coincidentally or not, your brother was there the day she died, and in the same place. So first of all, for me, sorry, I just got to close something down.
Well, the thing is, not to interrupt you, I'm sorry. I'm not convinced there's a connection, but I'm open to the possibility because I've kind of hit some dead ends with this whole my exploration.
Well, Judith, there is a connection. Okay. They died the exact same time in the exact same place. That to me, my sister's from England, your brother's from the United States. I believe he was working in the UK though. Okay, but let's just put that to one side. I have done some research, and I have discovered, I can't name who the person is, but it's a very credible source, somebody that works very high up in government security in the UK. That's all I can tell you about it, but it's a verifiable source. He told me recently that my sister didn't use her credit card for 4 weeks before she disappeared in Rousinac. Her and her husband didn't. The last time she used her credit card was in Rousinac. Okay? Your brother, so this is news for you, your brother also hadn't spent anything on his credit cards, any of them, for 2 weeks before he disappeared.
How is that even possible? David, he never used cash. I mean, all he did was use his cards.
Right.
So, yeah. Okay.
Right.
You have my attention. Yes.
Okay. So to me, that is suspicious.
Yes.
I have felt from the very beginning, one of the reasons I can't seem to grieve normally, and I appreciate that you're a specialist in the area, but there's a really big part of me that doesn't believe, in fact, that my sister has perished or disappeared or whatever I want to get the official version first of all, but I also want to go and actually do my own investigation. Let me just finish. I know that you want to say something, but I want to say to you that conveniently, because of the pandemic, because of lockdown, I believe that was very convenient to stop any of us actually going closer to the time and actually asking some big questions. And now I want to ask those questions in Rousinac.
Okay. I hear you. I hope you don't mind me saying this, but I do think it's important that you face the reality as it is now. And the reality as it is now is that your sister has passed. And I think it's important that you talk to somebody about this so that you can do the proper grieving and move past it. I just think it's very important. This is my professional opinion.
I understand.
I'm hearing what you're saying about the other situation, and let's see. Perhaps there is some truth to what you're saying, and maybe we can find that out. But for now, I think it's important to deal with your grief. And I know you're not going to like this, but accept the fact, for now, that your sister has passed, that my brother has passed. And if something else turns up, then we take it from there.
Okay. All right, well, I'm going to Rousinac and I'm going to ask questions, and I'll also be asking questions on your behalf. I would love, not to go alone. I'm going to, if you don't mind, after this call, I'm going to send you some information, tell you how I'm getting there, when I'm getting there, and maybe just give it some time. But if you want to join me, I would really appreciate that. I could do with the support. Just going to ask some questions, Judith. That's it.
I'm happy to,
Okay.
happy to give you support in any way that I can. I'm not sure if I can give it in that way. However, I will say this, that your information is compelling and it does make me think. It gives me pause.
Yeah.
So let me send the information to me. It's probably a matter of timing as well. I mean, I have clients that I'm responsible for. So send the information to me, and I promise you, I will give it some thought.
Okay.
And,
Thank you.
I will get back to you.
Great.
If I decide to go, which is questionable, but if I do decide to go, then we'll take it from there. And if I don't decide to go, I still would like you to be in touch with me because I am concerned about your state of mind and your emotions.
I've got it.
Okay.
Judith. Okay. I'm sorry, but you're going to have to get used to my personality type. I get it. I hear you. I'm going. Love you to come. Send you the information. If you come, you come. If you don't, you don't. There'll be plenty of time for me to grieve later on when I've got the information that I need that will satisfy my curiosity, at least. So.
Okay, fair enough. So please send me the information, and I promise that I'll get back to you within a day or two of receiving it.
Thank you so much. I will, of course. Now that you're responding to my email, of course I will.
Yes.
And all right, thank you. I don't want to keep you. I know you're busy, so I appreciate this time, and I'll be in touch.
In about 2 minutes. I'm sorry.
No problem.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Take care until then. Please take care of yourself.
I will.
Okay.
Bye-bye now.
Hi, I'm traveling from New York City to Rousinac, France. Not something I really expected to be doing right now, but as circumstances have it, it's necessary. My brother was lost in an incident, either disappeared or has passed away. I'm not really sure. And that's what's driving me crazy because there aren't a lot of answers. He went to France and I had minimal contact with him, and then I lost contact with him. And all the reports are indicating that he passed away, but I'm not quite sure that that's true. And the reason I'm traveling to France is because I was recently contacted by somebody called Amanda Jones Brown. I'm a leading psychotherapist in New York City, and I do a lot of podcasts. And on the one podcast, I was talking about grief and my personal grief and my brother. And I was contacted by Amanda Jones Brown because allegedly her sister was in the same place as my brother at the same time. And her disappearance death is also personal. So